Good evening, and just a quick one this evening because I've just been made aware of the fact that the rumours that have been going around for 6 months to a year now about the Nintendo Switch Lite were, as we all guessed, not just rumours. The fact is that we are getting a Nintendo Switch Lite, and it's being released, as you can see on the screen here, on the 20th of the 9th, 2019. So it's coming out this year on the 20th of November. And as you can probably see here, we're getting 3 colour variants. And if we go down, we can talk about that a little bit more. We're getting yellow, grey and turquoise. And we're also getting, and I only found this out as I was looking into this, and let me just change sites a second to the US website. We're also getting, and I don't know whether this is coming to the UK or not, and I would hope it will, we're getting a Nintendo Switch Lite Zacian and Zamazenta edition. Excuse me, Pokemon fans, but I can't pronounce those. And it's a very nice looking edition too. I think I might like one of these if I actually do decide to get a Nintendo Switch Lite. And that in itself is another question. Is it worth having? Well, let's just pop back to the UK website that compares them for a minute. And it starts to get interesting because some of the rumours that were coming out, was it last week, I think, about it being more powerful than the standard Switch, and well, frankly were rumours that I thought didn't stack up. Well, it turns out that they're not true, and in fact it's pretty much a standard Switch Lite, as you would expect. It's a cut down version of the Switch, and if you look here it says play modes. With the standard Switch, you've got TV mode, tabletop mode, and handheld mode. With the Lite, you've just got handheld mode. And you can probably see just about from the picture here that the JoyCons are actually integrated into the unit itself, so they're not detachable. So that's the first thing. With compatibility, that's another issue, and that's something that I found a little bit disappointing. If you look here, obviously, the standard Switch is compatible with all Switch software, but with the Switch Lite, it says Nintendo Switch software that supports handheld mode. So any software that doesn't support handheld mode won't be usable on the Switch Lite. And I don't know if there's any of that software out there. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. But, yeah, well, you know, it's almost inevitable that that's going to be the case, isn't it? So we have to kind of take it. Moving on from that, we've got the JoyCons. Obviously, you get a pair of JoyCons with the standard Switch, but you don't get any with the Lite because, well, they are part of the Lite, so they're not detachable JoyCons. And they don't have the Switch Lite doesn't have HD rumble or IR motion camera. And so if you're going to want to use those functions, you can still buy JoyCons because they still will work with the Switch Lite, but you are going to have to buy them as a separate item. So that's going to add to the price. And if you factor in, I think what JoyCons are about 80 quid for a pack of 2, something like that, between 60 and 80 quid shopping around. By the time you've bought some JoyCons, if you want to use them in that way, it takes the price up to similar to the price of the standard Switch. And let's just talk about that briefly for a moment here, because the standard Switch currently as it stands, I think is what, $299, something like that. Well, the Switch Lite is going to be $199. So it's $100 less, but by the time you factor in the fact that you might want to buy JoyCons, it could end up being a little bit more expensive. So I don't know, you'll have to work that out. I mean, it'll still be cheaper than the standard Switch, but even so, swings and roundabouts there for me. It doesn't come with a dock, so again, it's cheaper, but you're not getting as much for your money. So obviously, you know, again, swings and roundabouts there. And coming from that, the other thing there is it does not support output to a TV and is not compatible with the Nintendo Switch dock. Now, for me, that is a missed opportunity because as far as I'm concerned, if they'd have just kept it with the ability to dock, what's the problem? Okay, maybe it won't actually fit because of the form factor, because it is a bit narrower. But I don't understand this, frankly. It seems to me that they've actually shot themselves in the foot. Just make it big enough so it fits in the dock, have the integrated controllers, and everything would have been fine. But no, they've decided to forego the ability to dock it. And not only is it not dockable, you can't even buy a cable and plug it in via USB-C to HDMI and output it to a TV. So it can output to a TV at all. It is entirely portable. And then obviously we're looking here at the size. It's, you know, a bit smaller, a little bit diddier, and it weighs a little bit less. The weight is 279 grams for the standard one and 275 grams for the smaller one. So again, swings and roundabouts there. The screen, again, it's slightly smaller. The standard screen is 6.2 inches and the Lite screen is 5.5 inches. Still the same resolution though. So actually it should look a little bit sharper. Because obviously you've got a smaller screen with the same resolution, and that's 1280 by 720, which as a handheld's perfectly adequate. I don't think you need to have a 1080p screen. Would be nice, but you don't have to. And battery life, it looks like it's going to have slightly better battery life. And I seem to remember reading on one of the sites when I saw this first that the Switch Lite is going to have between 3 and 7 hours of battery life, as opposed to 2.5 to 6.5 on the standard Switch. So slightly better battery life. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys make of this? I think there's some missed opportunities here. I think it's interesting. I'm quite happy they're releasing it with different colours and whatnot. And let's just go back to that again. As I say, we've got the yellow, the grey and the turquoise. I would personally have liked to have seen them issue it with some other colours. I would have liked a red or something. I like the Pokemon Sword and Shield Special Edition. I hope we get that in the UK. I might be tempted to get one of those if we get it in the UK. But my primary reason for trying to get hold of one of these will actually be nothing to do with the Switch at all. Because I've got my standard Switch. I will use that as my Switch. If I was buying this, because it's got the Tegra X1 in it, I'd actually probably mod it and use it as a retro machine. So I think with the power that it's got on board, it's a brilliant portable retro machine, probably the best one out there if you can stomach the idea of spending all that money on a portable and then modding it and voiding your warranty. So, but that's me personally. As an actual Switch, with some of the caveats there, the fact that you have to, you know, make sure that the games are compatible. Most will be. But you do have to check that. And also, you know, some of the things that are already a problem with the Switch, like the ability of transferring stuff between Switches. I know you can do it, but it's a bit clunky. So, I don't know. I'm kind of in two minds. I do want to buy one for the reasons I've already given, but I'm not sure that I would want to buy one just for using as a Switch. If I was going to get another Switch to use as a Switch, I'd be inclined to buy just another standard Switch or wait and see if they're going to announce the Switch Pro, which is really the one I'm looking forward to. And I hope that's announced soon, although I get the feeling that might not be till next year. You know, they could still drop it on us. We still might get it this year, but we've not heard anything about manufacturing for the Switch Pro, whereas we have heard about manufacturing for the Switch Lite. But anyway, that's what I think. I think it's okay. I think, you know, in terms of its attractiveness, in terms of the different colours, it's going to appeal to a broad audience. And I think for younger Switch players, they might be interested in having a purely portable device. But it loses some of the attraction of what the Switch is. And, you know, it's not actually a Switch, is it? Because you can't switch it. And that brings me back to the dockability again. Why didn't they make it so it could dock with your current dock? Or, you know, you could go out and buy a dock later on. I don't understand that. That to me is a typical Nintendo move and makes no sense to me whatsoever. But anyway, as I say, that's what I think about it. You might think that I'm talking complete nonsense, and if you do, let me know in the comments, as ever, and we can have a chat about it. And if you agree with me, let me know. And let me know, will you be buying one of these? Will you hopefully wait and see if there's a price cut for the standard Switch? Because it doesn't look like there's going to be. And yeah, I mean, are you excited for this? Or could you not care less? And yeah, that's me done. Bit of a late one. I'm going to get this done and out. So yeah, then I'll go and grab myself a cup of tea as usual. And I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye.